Now, in your notebook, you should have, or if you printed this out online, you should have a spiritual gift survey worksheet. It is a bifold piece of paper, and it is designed with a series of questions on this paper. You will see it's 80 questions. Here's what you do. You also have a score sheet and a tabulation sheet. What I want you to do, when you get ready to take this survey, I want you to set aside the tabulation sheet. Put that aside. You don't need that to the very end. I should say this as well. When you get ready to do the spiritual gift worksheet, this inventory, make sure you allot yourself. I would say 30 minutes would be sufficient, but you probably want to give yourself an hour just so you don't feel rushed. And find a time and a place that's convenient to you, that there'll be no distractions. Get away from everything, depending on how you're wired. If you need a very quiet place in your home or the library, or if you're like me, go to Starbucks or something like that. But just make sure you have a time to get off by yourself. And then spend some time praying first. Before you approach this, make sure you're in fellowship with God so you can hear from Him as you answer these questions. After that, when you're ready to take this test, here's how it works very simply. You will see a series of statements. Like the first one is this: I have a special ability to clearly express the gospel to someone. Well, what you will do is you will write in the blank next to that either a 0, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, 0 through 6. 0 means this statement is absolutely untrue of you. You can just read that and say, there is no way. I'm the exact opposite of that, in fact. You would put a 0. 6 means that is absolutely true of you. You read that and that is just it. Well, somewhere in the middle, 3, sometimes it's true, sometimes it doesn't seem true, or whatever. You can see the scale there. But what you want to do is try to score that as honestly as you can. Let me give you 2 words of warning as you take this inventory, or any inventory. 1, generally your first reaction is most correct. Sometimes people try to evaluate these things, or they read into it too much and they start turning around and they just get themselves confused. Try to keep these at basic face value, and whatever your natural inclination is, that's probably most correct. And again, the second word of warning is what I just said. Don't belabor this. Don't make this a long, drawn-out ordeal. Just kind of take the question, take it at face value, answer it as you see fit. And so what you'll do is you'll just sit down, and this works best if it's at one time, and just go through, read each of those 80 questions, answer them, and then you're done with the worksheet. When you're completed with that, this is where you pick up the tabulation sheet. And you'll see the tabulation sheet has a worksheet on the top half. The bottom half has a visual graph. The first thing you do is you go to that gift tabulation worksheet, and you'll record your scores by the question number. The question number is in the upper right-hand corner of each of those squares. And so you'll find where the 1 is on the upper right-hand corner of one of those squares. And in that square, you will write whatever you scored for question 1. And so if you gave yourself a 2 about a special ability to clearly express the gospel, you would write a 2 in there. And you would do that for all the questions. Then you're completely done with your worksheet. You can put that aside. You continue working with your tabulation worksheet, and you will total up these rows, and that will give you numbers to weight each of the spiritual gifts presented in this worksheet. The graph at the bottom is where you can take those total numbers, make a line on the chart in the corresponding location, and kind of color in the bar from the left going out to the right. And here's how you can read this. For those of you who are visual, I think this graph will really help. If you see bars that extend very far to the right, those are the gifts that you may have. You have a good possibility of having them. Bars that barely extend past the left probably don't have them. And so as you glance down at your visual graph, you may see 3 bars that are farther to the right and the rest are farther to the left. Well, that means you can pretty much rule out those to the left and focus just on those 3. And so again, that's just how you use this worksheet and this tabulation sheet. And I hope that is a helpful tool. And when we talk together, if you are coming to the new members class, we'll have a time to discuss them. Or of course, you can always feel free to email me or stop by my office if you want some more help with that worksheet.